In today's world, we are deeply interconnected with technology, which continues to change at a rapid pace and with a higher level of complexity. Technology has brought tremendous opportunities for innovative organizations, but it is driving to extinction companies that fail to adapt. The winners are not those who simply try to make it to the next level, but companies that embrace the changes and adapt to new conditions to stay relevant and become more competitive. For more than 200 years, the story has played out time and time again. It is known that the Industrial Revolution has driven companies to enhance their efficiency and productivity. Each new stage has seen significant technological advances, with the latest improvements helping people and machines to work more collaboratively by adding a human touch to the pillars of automation. Industrial maintenance is no different. Workers in this area need technology to help them make the right decisions at the right time. And these technologies need to be easy to use and adapt quickly to changing business conditions to sustain and improve asset reliability. Challenging? Let's talk about it.
Hello and welcome to our launch event. I am Romeo Ciara, EVP and one of the early founders of SIGA Technologies. With me today, Steven Teams, SIGA CRO. Welcome, Steve.
Thank you, Romeo. In addition, we are honored to have Cicero Suzin, an engineering director from one of our valued customers, one of the biggest food companies in the world, BRF, joining us in a few minutes, plus Brian Ball, a senior analyst from Aberdeen Research.
As our opening video highlighted, change is all around us, and we all need to be prepared to respond quickly to the challenges and opportunities that come our way. You cannot expect the way you work today will be the same way you'll be working in the future. Maintenance teams need to continually improve the agility, responsiveness, and anticipate the needs from production, or fall into the negative cycle of constant repairs. Operations managers and technicians need to have critical and reliable information at their fingertips to coordinate a response to an urgent situation or easily check availability of parts. And with the continued pressure on budgets, the work needs to get accomplished even more efficiently in order to support demands with fewer people. Steve, with the customers you work over the last few years, do you concur there's a newfound urgency in the need to be more flexible and adaptive?
Certainly, Romeo. I started in field service nearly 20 years ago, and it's truer now than it was then, and it was then. From changing practices to accommodate the growing shortage of skilled labor, or break-fix strategy, changing from fix to swap, or more recently, changes to accommodate the challenges brought on by COVID. That said, let me point out that even though they know they have the need, they are reluctant to actually make the change. In other words, they can see that digitizing their processes will help, but they are concerned about the time they'll spend to look for a solution, the time to implement a solution, and the potential disruption to their business. If they already have such a solution, implementing change is costly and takes a long time.
Yeah, I've seen this time and time again with maintenance managers I've spoken with. And so often they conclude that the time isn't right. Sometimes they say things are just too crazy at the moment, or maybe tomorrow is going to be better. And the reality is, tomorrow never comes.
But today, we're not here to talk about the past. We're here to talk about new mobile enterprise asset management solution, our innovation that addresses these concerns and more head on. Our goal today is to inspire those companies sitting on the fence to move forward and to take their maintenance processes mobile. The prize is waiting. These are examples of real customer benefits, but with Empower, implementing these processes or changing them is completed and deployed quickly with an intuitive mobile app that is easy to modify, paying for itself well within the first year. Improve wrench time by 25% or more. Reduce mean time to repair by over 79%. Improve data quality in SAP with real-time accessibility. And reduce operational costs by millions of dollars.
Well, Steve, I'm sure those with us today are saying, yeah, I've heard it all before, so what's different? How about we show them what's possible? I think seeing is believing, right?
Why don't you make this real for the audience and show them what we're really talking about?
Steve showed us some impactful business results, but what about the ability for a company to manage its own destiny? Stop for a moment and imagine. You can deploy a mobile app in your SAP with weeks instead of months. Your team quickly adopts the new mobile process with minimal disruption to the business. You can modify the app at any time yourself without the delays and cost of hiring anyone else to customize it for you. And all of this with a mobile app trusted by global enterprise industry, proven by over 70,000 mobile EAM users, and from a company that has 20 years of experience in SAP and enterprise maintenance processes.
Sounds great, especially the part about being able to eliminate customization costs. But some people might think this still sounds like a lot of hype. How can we convince them this is genuine?
First of all, this is because we have taken our mobile EAM app, evolved over the last 2 decades, and we are now delivering the proven workflows on a no-code application platform. This combination is what provides the flexibility companies need to adjust the workflows in the app to their own business process and deploy quickly. As the name implies, it empowers you to be able to adapt your process at any time.
I just want to drive this point home. In my experience, no two customers are alike in how they want to do things. There's always the need for customizations. So we're not only talking about taking that off the table, but also providing the ability to go back into the software and make changes at any time in the future.
Exactly, Steve. Let me bring up one of our no-code screens to show an example of a modification one of our customers created. They had a standard procedure where production must to sign off a work order before the maintenance technician could close it. Before they went mobile, this process requires a technician to take the signed paper order back to the office, scan it, and attach it to the work order in SAP before closing it. Traditionally, this change to an existing application would require you to pay for that customization, and this would take weeks to get accomplished at a significant cost. Now, with Ziga EAM and Power, you can use the intuitive drag-and-drop interface to make the change. For example, you've been watching the steps to add the signature field to the work in the order process closing. The software uses common logic building blocks based on the same concepts that kids use in robotics classes. From the screen to close the work order, we added mandatory signature field. We then apply rules for that particular new field. Only if the field is signed, then the close the work order button will be active. Very simple, and voila! The new process was shown in the example mobile interface you saw on the screen. You can then deploy across all app users in your organization, with the appropriate checks, of course. All of this is possible because of our no-code application platform. This is true no-code, not to be confused with the low-code. As you can see, all of the steps were done completely without any knowledge of programming.
How long did this take? 2, 3 minutes? Of course, for more complex workflows, it would take more time, but nothing even close to the time that it would have taken historically.
That's right. One of our customers configured their end-to-end EAM workflow in the platform in less than 5 days. Previously, it would have required 2 months or more to custom build the deploy with teams of mobile app developers and SAP integration specialists. And the best part of all of this, anyone on the team can be charged with making or assisting IT in making these changes. This allows the operations teams with real-life, deep knowledge on their own process and dependencies to get it right the first time. This is true agility to modify apps to get better results, faster and cheaper.
This is the flexibility businesses demand in today's environment. Like evolution, change is life. This ability wasn't even possible just a few years ago. Real no-code platforms are still fairly new, yet are making people rethink the whole software creation and deployment process. But now, tell us what's truly unique here. How does this address software that requires data exchange with SAP? Because as you know, implementing integrations with SAP is one of the most challenging steps of deploying new software and requires integration specialists to do the work. It typically adds further costs and delays in the implementation process.
Precisely. Completing the integration with an app with SAP is one of the most demanding and I would say painful steps in the software development process. And this is one of the biggest innovations that we are bringing with EAM and Power. Typical SAP integrations with low-code or no-code platform require knowledge of SAP codes and the steps to create the integration, as you can see. And so, we spent tens of thousands of hours of development over the last 3 years to develop a true end-to-end no-code application platform. This means that the integration step with SAP is not only much faster, but also accomplished without programming. Our no-code platform includes over 200 SAP integration services that are tested and ready to use without having to know SAP terms and codes. And it is extensible. You can also easily add your own custom services. As you can see in the screen from the no-code platform behind me, you simply complete the app modifications, map the fields, and the integration with SAP is set up automatically. Just a few simple steps. No SAP specialists involved and no customization cost.
We are the only SAP solutions partner in the market with true no-code integration with SAP. We're proud to say that our proprietary technology is going to be a game changer. Lots of companies claim that their mobile EAM apps can be modified code-free, but in reality they are low-code, as in they still require coding, especially when it comes to the SAP integration. We're talking about real end-to-end no-code innovation to provide true flexibility to deploy changes rapidly whenever needed. Given today's regulated environments, an ever-growing need for more data privacy and security provisions, can I ask that you expand further on how this solution is ready for global enterprise scale environments?
Certainly. As a leader in the EAM software segment, we are committed to data privacy and security, as demonstrated by our certification to the ISO 27001 standard and more than a decade of SAP certifications. SIGA EAM and Power is fully SAP certified, and our proprietary integration technology is uniquely designed for high performance with high volumes of data and users. In addition, SIGA EAM and Power is designed as a cloud-native application platform, and it is offered in the SIGA Cloud for easy scaling across locations around the globe. All of that, of course, makes the cloud deployment also reduce the ongoing software maintenance costs.
Thank you, Romeo. This is precisely what companies need to increase their agility and respond faster to business changes in a secure way. Now, don't take only our word for it. Let's go ahead and hear from an industry analyst and one of our initial EAM Empower customers to get their perspectives. First, let me introduce you to Brian Ball. He's an analyst from Aberdeen, and he has a focus on the enterprise asset management space. We asked Brian to share a little about what best-in-class companies are doing in EAM and to share his perspective on our new offering. Here's Brian.
Hi everyone and welcome. It's good to be here with you today. My name is Brian Ball and I'm an industry analyst with Aberdeen Strategy and Research. I've covered the EAM space for about the last 9 years. And today I'm here to give you some Aberdeen insights and market trends from Aberdeen Research, and then also give you my take on SIGA's EAM Empower solution. I want to preface my remarks with my perspective on the increasing speed of business and why its impact on all operations requires them to go address these increased demands just as quickly as possible. And when I say increasing speed, think in terms of your own personal professional experience. We are now down to next day and same day deliveries, and everyone demands to know when that package is going to be delivered on your front doorstep. You know, particularly since we have been dealing with ordering from home and the pandemic's hit and it's restricted our ability to get out and shop as we traditionally have. So that need and expectation at the consumer level is certainly, changing the game in terms of expectations. The key realization here is that we need to reduce lead times and improve our time to value to operate at the speed of business today. And fundamentally, all business processes, either directly or indirectly, play a role in meeting this need. So let's keep that in mind, as we talk about the impact of asset management on your business today. As it relates to maintenance and operations organizations, the basic challenges are pretty consistent. Lower cost, improved efficiency, time to repair, equipment uptime, and nuances of these metrics. Those are the expectations that maintenance organizations are expected to hit. I'd like to start with some research information on EAM and mobile adoption rates for companies with an ERP system such as SAP. 59% of best-in-class companies have an EAM solution. 55% of the EAM users currently have access to their ERP on their mobile devices. And we define the best-in-class as the top 20% of our research respondents, again, based on their performance. As a result of being best-in-class, the 59% are seeing much better results when it comes to OEE, mean time between failures, cost, wrench time, mean time to repair, and first-time fix rates. And I want to share some of those with you, so let me read some of those to you now. Best-in-class companies are seeing 2.4 times greater annual decrease in production downtime, 1.8 times greater annual decrease in maintenance cost, 39% greater serviceable asset uptime, 36% greater annual increase in technician efficiency, and 26% greater first-time fix rates. So those are all great numbers. So the key is, what were the key criteria that best-in-class companies, were considering when they were evaluating their EAM potential upgrades or purchases, if you will? And so the top 5 are, let's start with ease and speed of implementation was number 1 at 23%. Ease of use was 22%. 3 was functionality at 22%. 4 was integration technologies and capabilities at 21%. And 5 was the quality and availability of professional services. So in essence, when you look at those, they were looking at the fundamentals of time to value and ease of use as number 1 and 2 to help them address their inefficiencies and improve their overall effectiveness in reducing costs. And as you heard from the SIGA team, they're specifically addressing many of these criteria directly with their new EAM Empower solution, especially ease of use and implementation. So let me take you through some of that. First of all, the simplification and flexibility, I'm going to actually refer to their language here, if you will. Their solution to make changes and adjust to the conditions at hand. That's enabled by an innovative no-code platform that truly does free up IT resources and empowers end users to be an active participant. Think now in terms of almost a user-designed application when they really get finished with that. No code is getting a lot of traction with IT departments based on its reputed ability to improve by a factor of 10x the time for coding versus traditional coding applications. Plus, they also add their integration technologies and capabilities with SAP that they have established, and they report that they've got 200 out-of-the-box SAP integrations. SAP integration can be tough. I've been through that in a prior life, and you can take that off the table, and particularly out of the box, that's a huge advantage in terms of time to implementation, particularly when it comes to scaling and when it comes to movement of a large amount of data, and then continuing operation, if you will. So these features, between the two of them, in terms of the no-code application and the integration, definitely quicker time to value when it comes to implementation, and also ease of use, to further adapt their solution as needed. Now let's talk about why now. It's always a question, and I'll start with the changing business conditions. No doubt that inflation has increased. Costs have certainly ramped up, because of supply chain issues, and also energy costs, which has affected every business and every facet of their operation. And so, budgets are under pressure. And, maintenance and operations organizations are always tasked with doing more with less. But the key here is they need the right tools to make that happen. And so, hence the need to reevaluate, again, every process that they're involved in, if you will. And also there's the basic realization that if other companies, your competitors, are investing in technology and you're not, by definition, you could be moving backward and putting yourself at a disadvantage. However, let's be clear that the realization, has got to be there that the ROI exists. And, you want to make sure that when you're evaluating, you're considering solutions with a proven track record that are out there today for consideration, and going to be there tomorrow to help you further adapt and address the issues as you grow and conditions change. So those are the two key factors in terms of why now, the changing conditions, and then also should you keep investing in technology to keep up with the Joneses, so to speak. In closing, all companies must make their own decision when it comes to investing in their EAM solution and whether it makes sense to them. However, I would suggest that SIGA has checked off many of the boxes, particularly ease of use and time to value, that warrant consideration, particularly if your organization is looking to improve your maintenance and operating costs, and you're looking for a solution that has checked the boxes and also is going to be there for the future. So I'd strongly suggest that SIGA warrants your consideration.
Thank you. We appreciate Brian taking the time to provide his perspective and that of Aberdeen Research. Now, let me introduce you to our next guest. We've asked Cicero Suzin, a Director of Engineering at BRF, to share his experience with SIGA EAM Mpower. BRF are one of the largest food companies in the world, with over 30 brands and present in over 150 countries. They are one of our first customers for this new solution and have begun the rollout of what will be nearly 30 sites.
Olá, tudo bem? Meu nome é Cícero Suzin, eu trabalho na BRF, tenho 23 anos de empresa, né? E sou diretor de CX Engenharia. A nossa área de CX Engenharia, dentre outros desafios, dentro do nosso negócio, é responsável aqui pelas áreas de manutenção, também pelas áreas de manutenção e utilidades de toda a nossa BRF aqui global, né? E eu vim falar um pouquinho para vocês dessa parceria super bacana que a gente iniciou com a SIGA, né, no desenvolvimento das soluções de mobilidade em manutenção e utilidades. Por que a gente buscou essa solução, né? Quais eram os desafios que a gente buscava dentro do nosso negócio, o que a gente queria resolver? A gente queria facilitar a nossa vida para coletar as informações, a gente queria reduzir muito o tempo que não agrega valor, aquele tempo que o funcionário, que o manutentor está se deslocando, não está produzindo efeito aqui prático do ponto de vista de melhorar as nossas soluções. Então, esses tempos que não agregam valor, os tempos burocráticos, né, de imprimir ordens de serviço, se deslocar através da unidade em tempos improdutivos, eram coisas que nós buscávamos, né? Além, obviamente, de medir corretamente a produtividade dos nossos times de execução de manutenção. Nós somos muitos, nós somos uma empresa de mais de 100 mil pessoas. Temos aí, só nos times de manutenção e utilidades, quase 3 mil pessoas. Então, medir a produtividade e conseguir atuar para melhorar a produtividade, sem dúvida, é um breakthrough para a BRF. Além, obviamente, de otimizar a mão de obra dos nossos times de manutenção, né? Obviamente, tem um efeito primoroso aqui de reduzir, eliminar o uso de papel impresso, tinta de impressão, etc. Quando você sai do papel para o digital, que é a solução SIGA, né? Esse tempo de registro das informações e interação direta com o nosso ERP, que é o SAP, além, obviamente, da principal aplicação da ferramenta, que é a redução da indisponibilidade por manutenção, além de melhorar, né, esse dia a dia de interação entre manutenção e operação. Obviamente, nós consideramos outros players antes de optar pela SIGA. Esses outros players, nós fizemos uma análise técnica detalhada, né, para atingir e atender a nossa política de suprimentos e as premissas técnicas estabelecidas, né, e a gente entendeu que a SIGA aqui conseguia abranger 100% das nossas necessidades. Por isso que a gente optou aí para prosseguir com a SIGA. Por que também a gente escolheu a SIGA? Porque também é uma empresa grande, sólida, né? Ela atua globalmente, né? Ela possui aqui aplicação em mobilidade digital, ela está no mercado desde 2002, atua em grandes players do mercado, para citar alguns no Brasil, aqui, Ambev, Bung, Vale, além de outros players globais, né? Além disso, a ferramenta está disponível em várias línguas, né? No nosso caso, por ser uma empresa global, e com forte expansão no exterior, ela, obviamente, nos facilita muito a vida. Além de ser uma empresa certificada pela própria SAP, já que a SAP é o nosso ERP aqui oficial. O Empower faz parte de uma plataforma de aplicativos chamadas No Code, que permite a criação de novas regras de negócio e fluxo de trabalho, sem aquela necessidade enorme aqui de desenvolvedores, de um time gigante, etc., onde o próprio usuário consegue customizar as suas tarefas, consegue customizar os seus fluxos de uma maneira muito intuitiva, né, sem ter conhecimento específico desses sistemas de codificação e programação, e aí tem muita autonomia, né, que o sistema Empower traz para toda a nossa organização. Então, a gente se sente muito, de uma maneira muito intuitiva, a tecnologia nos entrega esse tipo de funcionalidade, né? Os potenciais aqui, né, obviamente, é a redução de paradas, a disponibilidade dos nossos ativos, né, com a redução das paradas de manutenção, por manutenção imprevista. Rendimento é um fator crítico para o nosso negócio, para os nossos processos, então, um aumento de rendimento, né, uma redução aí de em torno de 8% a 10% nos tempos utilizados aí em burocracia e que não estão agregando valor ao nosso processo produtivo, né? Aumentar a produtividade, conforme eu falei, e, obviamente, eliminar o uso do papel, digitalizando toda essa operação, né? A gente pretende alcançar 100% das nossas equipes de execução no Brasil e ainda, obviamente, tem um potencial praticamente imediato da gente rolloutar isso para outras operações da organização, né? A nossa experiência até agora, a gente está finalizamos o nosso blueprint, né, do projeto, várias customizações, né, foram feitas aí sempre que necessárias aí pelo time de implantação. A expectativa é a gente ter esse resultado concreto nessa fase de operação que inicia agora na nossa unidade de Toledo, no Paraná. Toledo é uma unidade gigante da BRF, com mais de 9 mil funcionários, né? Então tem uma grande gama de usuários já preparados, treinados para atuar de forma simultânea e a gente, de fato, coletar e entender todos os benefícios aí da solução que a SIGA está nos entregando com o Empower dentro da nossa operação, né? Os benefícios, conforme eu falei, então, eles começam a ser medidos agora, então eu não posso dizer exatamente, a gente fez esse mapeamento de perspectiva, mas os benefícios propriamente ditos a gente começa a coletar e colher agora e, obviamente, eu tenho muita expectativa que os nossos números iniciais aqui sejam prematuros e que a gente consiga ir mais longe. Sem dúvida, uma vez um Empower rolloutado, né, dentro da nossa operação, da VP de operações aqui, da área produtiva, fatalmente a gente vai entender que tem uma oportunidade muito fácil, rápida, né, de rolloutar para as outras áreas da organização. Por exemplo, a área de logística, por exemplo, a área internacional e assim sucessivamente, né? Essa ferramenta, a gente entendeu que ela é uma ferramenta extremamente flexível e ela se adapta muito rápido às necessidades do cliente, né? O Empower, ele, como eu falei, ele tem essa característica no-code, então eu consigo customizar ele para as nossas soluções de uma forma muito rápida, muito intuitiva, né? E ele consegue se adaptar aos padrões de gestão de manutenção da BRF, né? Nós temos aqui dentro um jeito único de operar que chama Sistema de Excelência Operacional, que é o nosso SEO, CEL, né? E o nosso pilar gestão de ativos, que trata das rotinas de manutenção, né? Ele conversa com as adaptações que nós fizemos aqui no sistema Empower através dessa característica. Então, essa solução, ela supere muito aqui o app anterior da SIGA, aí, que é o Brizo, tá? A importância também desse sistema, ele é um sistema que atua, que ele consegue operar offline, e isso é muito importante na nossa rotina diária. Na nossa rotina diária não tem Wi-Fi, né? Dentro das nossas instalações, nós não temos cobertura Wi-Fi em todas as instalações. Nós temos unidades produtivas muito grandes, aí 300, 400, 500, 600 mil metros quadrados de área construída. Então, é praticamente impossível ter uma solução Wi-Fi disponibilizada para todo o site. Então, essa solução offline, ela nos permite aqui trabalhar offline, e à medida que o operador está caminhando dentro da instalação e carrega o celular aí, né, a aplicação mobile, no momento que eu tenho aí um hotspot, ele consegue carregar as soluções dele para o sistema e do sistema para ele, e assim ele fica sem interrupção para poder ter o sincronismo e as suas atividades desenvolvidas plenamente ao longo do dia, né? Essa experiência com a solução móvel é um projeto que envolve, sem dúvida, uma mudança cultural significativa. Nós tivemos algumas experiências com coletores, sistemas mais primitivos, digamos assim, no passado, mas a solução Empower Móvel aqui da SIGA é uma solução que entrega muita experiência intuitiva e muito positiva para o usuário, né? De uma aceitação muito fácil, né? De um sistema de treinamento que permite o usuário rapidamente se adaptar à ferramenta. Obviamente, como eu comentei, a gente ainda está em piloto, mas tem uma expectativa gigante para entrar em funcionamento propriamente dito, né? E para rolloutar para as próximas soluções da BRF, né? Essa experiência de interface do usuário com a equipe SIGA, ela como não está em operação ainda, a gente tem pouca experiência da solução em produção, né? Mas do ponto de vista de teste, da fase blueprint, da fase de experimentação, as experiências com a SIGA aí foram, né, as melhores possíveis, né? A experiência nossa um pouquinho anterior da gente optar pelo Empower, mas com a solução do app Brizo, né? Grande parte do nosso time conseguiu utilizar a solução de forma integral, já com todas as funcionalidades, já nos primeiros contatos, nas primeiras interações, né? Ela também possui uma interface amigável, intuitiva, que proporciona essa experiência que facilita, agiliza as rotinas de trabalho das equipes, né? E a nossa expectativa aqui é a gente ter uma experiência muito superior, né? Muito mais amigável, muito mais rápida e muito mais potente aqui com o Empower assim que a gente tiver ele no Go Live aí na unidade de Toledo. A aceitação das nossas equipes com essas mudanças, né, na rotina diária, ele como não está em operação do ponto de vista de rodar o blueprint, o piloto, etc., a gente entendeu que nós vamos ter menos dificuldade que esperávamos para ter aceitação e implementação na rotina diária, que as pessoas, né, se adaptem facilmente, aí os usuários se adaptem facilmente ao uso da ferramenta. Então, assim que a gente tiver isso em produção e operação, a gente com certeza vai ter mais feedback para fornecer de uma maneira muito mais abrangente e precisa. Na experiência anterior que a gente fez com a Brizo, antes de optar pelo Empower, a gente teve uma enorme aceitação, né, da ferramenta por parte de todo o time. Os key users aqui rapidamente familiarizados com o produto, né, e foram habilitados aí para disseminar o conhecimento. Então, a nossa experiência com a SIGA foi muito positiva e a gente espera, de fato, colher resultados substanciais com esse programa dentro dessa solução que a SIGA tem nos trazido, tá? Era isso que eu queria contar para vocês um pouquinho da nossa experiência. Muito obrigado pela oportunidade. Queria agradecer ao time da SIGA aqui em nome do Romeu e a gente se fala numa oportunidade assim que possível. Abraço.
We appreciate Cicero for taking the time to record this for you. I'm sure many of you can relate to his challenges in asset management. And we are confident that he will achieve the results he envisions.
So, as you could hear, EAM Empower has many benefits that are very relevant to your businesses today. Our new SIGA EAM Empower is the most flexible mobile EAM app for SAP. Easily adapts to your business needs without customizations anytime. Enterprise ready with large-scale performance, security, and deep SAP experience. Look, we all know that enterprise asset management is complex and harder still when connected with SAP. We have more than 20 years helping large asset-intensive customers around the globe achieve their digital transformation goals, meaning you can count on us.
But maybe you are still a little skeptical. We've made some bold claims. Does it all sound too good to be true? Well, give us a chance to prove to you how easy this really is. Bring us one of your unique process requirements and let us illustrate how easy it can be to build within SIGA EAM Empower. No strings attached. Let us show you the power of a no-code mobile EAM. We're convinced once you've had a chance to experience the flexibility, you'll start to see the possibilities. Rigid, unchangeable apps are going to be a thing of the past.
Steve and I would like to say thank you for joining us today. Please contact us and let us show you the power of a proven mobile EAM app on a true no-code platform. Gain endless flexibility completely without customizations. We started a new era of software in mobile apps that work on your way.